Okay, so once again, I'm Underbelly. Thank you guys for joining me for this week's live stream. Unfortunately, we've had a temporary setback, slight technical difficulty. My last stream box, it was just a MacBook, went kaput. So I'm back to my original streaming setup, which, as we know, is not ideal. Fortunately, I think next week I will be purchasing another MacBook or whatever, and everything will be bueno. So for now, just bear with me. The quality is probably not going to be as good as last time, but we'll power through because we're quite strong. Everyone who's a part of the Discord, and if you're not a part of the Discord, please go ahead and join the Discord by hitting the link in the video description. We're having a monthly challenge beat making contest, so please go ahead and join that. Check out the monthly challenges tab on the Discord, and yeah, send in your shit songs. We're gonna judge them. I might even participate, and it'll be a good time for the whole family. So all right, yeah, let's go ahead and roast some tracks. First up, we have some D&B with Green. Let's take a listen. Oh, yeah, boy. Yeah, that was very, very good liquid drum and bass by Green D&B. Super great percussive rhythms. Quite good mixing. I will say that this drop out in the middle here felt a bit long and awkward. And I would also say that you could probably do with an additional layer of high-end percussion. I mean, with drum and bass, there's really no limit to how much shakers, tambourines, hi-hats you can do. Just make sure they're all super fast, super dramatic. And then you should be good to go. I mean, this is a super solid idea. Fuck with it heavy. I even said wowzers in the comments. So Green D&B, please develop this. This is quite wonderful. Thank you so much for sending that in. Next up, we have Inhale by Pixel Wax. Pixel Wax, one of my lovelies in the Discord. He's quite a talented man, as you're about to hear. Let's take a listen. Pixel Wax, Inhale. trousers there. That's quite wowzers. Look at those little chocolate sprinkles at the end. Alright, that was Inhale with Pixel Wax. Let's just kind of go through here. Very nice vocal sample. Radio chatter. You know, who listens to the radio anymore? Okay, beautiful chimmers. Excellent chords. What is that last chord? Is that a diminished chord? What is that? Excellent percussion, super great 8-bit ARP synth. Everything's all good here. Building energy. Say 4 Adderalls here. Keep going. Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, so big up. I really thought that the drums and bass and shit were about to all drop there. Especially the first time I heard it. It feels a little anticlimactic to kind of keep that section going and drop in the synths. So I would actually kind of really kind of pull out your guns there, because I mean, with all the energy level rising action happening, you're giving us the full indication that something big is about to happen here. Oh shit, on the dance floor. No. Beautiful chords, just felt like it was a little bit of a letdown. Kind of some emotional footballs there. Beautiful chords. Filter down. Alright, now here we go. Okay. Super dope. Really fun lead synth. That glide, that. Okay, after that break, that's a great opportunity to add a new, I would say, upper percussive elements such as hi-hats, shakers, whatever, just to develop the drums a little bit more, because continuing on that pattern feels a little stiff. Hi-hats, shakers, whatever. Amazing synth work. Super fun melody, like I said. Beautiful, sexy chimes. Okay, yeah, that was great. Pixel Wax. Those are just a couple of things I noticed in the track. Otherwise, you have an amazing piece of work. Definitely developed this shit. This is quite good. Alright, up next we have Bassy Whip. Oh wait, we already listened to this. Fuck that. Up next, we have some Ezra with "Show Me." We'll meet again soon. I promise. Man, especially the vocals, some Bon Iver action. I don't know if it sounds like, it doesn't really sound like Bon Iver. It's just beautiful layered male vocals, and the production is sick too. Reminds me a lot of this guy, Falls. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. Kind of a lo-fi, trappy, dirty, trappy, chill, lo-fi hip hop guy. You should definitely check this guy out. Very reminiscent of your work. In certain places. Let me just pick out one thing that might have been problematic. Wait, so what note is the bass playing there? Okay, Okay, it should be an F sharp there. I'm not sure if the sub bass is playing that. It sounds a little dissonant in the low end. But other than that, man, what a fucking solid start. Bro, Ezra, get that shit going. Record more of your vocals. It sounds beautiful. All right, let's move on to whatever this is. Let's see, we got, oh, another Ezra track. Fuck it. Let's hear this shit. Hard, dude. I want to take you out. I want to tell you my feelings. I want to rub your back and give you a nice warm sudsy bath. I mean, that was so heartfelt. One thing that you may want to consider is the hi-hat, the trap hi-hat on the upper left corner of the stereo field. It's the only thing that's kind of pulling it back into, I guess, the trap territory. It does get kind of repetitive and a little bit annoying because it's just the exact same pattern happening over and over again. And I'm not even really sure if you need to trapify this shit. I mean, it's so beautiful on its own that if you do and choose to include a trap element like that, maybe perhaps bring it down in the mix or do a low pass filter, because I'm not really sure if it needs to be there at all, honestly. It's so beautiful on its own that we don't really need to go hard in the paint or Migos this shit, bro. Other than that, I mean, wow. Beautiful. Amazing guitar work, amazing vocals. Put out an EP like this, fucking put it out on some sort of chill hop type label, man. You're gonna get bad biddies left and right. Alright? That's Ezra with Rainfall. Let's move on to Heh by Dr. Disco. Alright, here we go.
I let you get to me once now, baby, but I'll never let you in again. You won't go fooling me twice now, baby. I'm sorry, that's the way it is, yeah. Cover it up, you like to play your own game. Cover it up, don't let them know what you're thinking. I bet you never tell them how it feels. I bet you never even try to be real. Don't you think like that? I don't see if you only believe me. Don't you be like that? I'm ready for it. Said, don't you think like that? I will love you and say if you only believe me. Don't you be like that? I will love you forever. If you only believe in me, yeah.
Oh my god, it's fucking fire, bro. Heh? Dr. Disco. Oh my gosh. Made me want to get down on the dance floor so hard. Yeah, honestly, just fucking develop this, extend this out. You got a great, maybe add a bridge or a B section somewhere in there, but you got a super solid foundation here, man. Where is that vocal from? I mean, it's a beautiful track, bro. Yeah, fuck. I mean, I don't have any complaints or anything like that. I think that's just fucking perfect so far. Wish it was longer than 1 minute and 52 seconds and, you know, maybe do something about this guy. But other than that, dude, holy shit. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Let's do something different. This one steps outside of the usual beating off territory. I always encourage submissions that are outside of the usual genres that I get. Mostly, I mean, fuck, like fucking trap, lo-fi, EDM bullshit. But this is something different. So, you know, I encourage you guys to get experimental and send me the weirdest shit you got. Also, for those people who are posting tracks that are more than, say, 2 months old, I probably won't get to those just because it doesn't really make sense for me to critique older work when you might have already kind of overcome the whatever producer challenges that were plaguing you in the past. So I always prefer work that is very recent and relevant, because if you're just reposting shit you made 6 months ago, I don't give a shit about that. You haven't made a new beat in 6 months. What are you fucking doing? So yeah, please, I encourage you guys to post recent work, not just repost your old shit. Okay, here's Beggs and Aiken with I've Been Looking.
I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you do. Is there someone else but you? Are you maybe feeling blue? Are you walking on your own? Is it something I can do? Is it something Well, I called you more than once when I've been more than drunk. Yeah, I know it's dumb. Why I never know someone else that you? Are you maybe feeling blue? Are you walking on your own? Do you need someone to hold? Is it something I could do? Something I could do? Still need you, still wanna see you. I just want more time,
Wow. Beggs and Aiken, after hearing that, I just want to wrap you in a warm blanket and tell you everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You have a great, amazing song. I mean, the feeling and emotion is just palpable in your vocal delivery. Super unique vocal sound. I love the distorted kind of low vibe. It's just, yeah, I want to wrap you in a warm blanket and kiss you on the forehead. I mean, it's gonna be okay, man. Also, the drums, if you played that, I mean, they sound great. It is just the same drum loop over and over again. So I wish you did kind of cut it up and maybe created some variety there. But the actual drum sounds, the way you've compressed it, sounds really, really great. I think this track could benefit from a proper mixdown. In terms of the songwriting and the arrangement, fucking perfect. But there is a lot of lower mids, a lot of mud in the mix. The vocals are probably a bit too forward, and the drums are a bit too set back. So I would definitely, if you haven't already, bounce all this to audio after perhaps creating some variety in the drum programming or cutting it up, the recording that you made. And just doing a proper mixdown. I mean, just starting with your most important elements, establishing the relative volumes between those, EQing out a lot of that lower mid gunk that's present there. Perhaps making your vocals a little further back in the mix, maybe a little bit more reverb. Love the distortion you have on there, though. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I just want the mix down to put this song in the best light they can possibly can, because I mean the songwriting is fucking there, man. So yeah, I'm gonna kiss you goodnight, wrap you in a warm blanket, and we're gonna move on. But thank you, Beggs and Aiken. All right, let's try this one. This is a remix of Jamiroquai, and it's by Firearm. Let's hear it. doesn't feel so flat. Other thing that's contributing to that is that your mix is ultra compressed, ultra limited, ultra flat as well. So that's part of the reason why it might sound kind of like a fucking fat sausage of funk. But other than that, I mean, fucking dope vibes, super great sound design, super bouncy, funky as shit. Yeah, bro. Keep up the good work. Definitely don't mix with the master, whatever you have on the master. Just take it the fuck off right now. Work on creating a section with a lower energy level or no solo, some sort of breakdown. And then, yeah, work on the mix. Speaking of the mix, guys, while we're listening to the next track, let me ask you this. About to teach a class on mixing at Pyramind. And I was wondering, what do you guys think? Is mixing a creative process or is it a technical process? And if it's both, how much of each? Is it 70% creative, 30% technical, 70% technical, 80% technical? And let me ask you this also. What the fuck is going on with my internet? Let me ask you this also. Do you guys mix as you go? Or do you guys mix at the very end of the production process and then just kind of get all the technical stuff, get all the creative stuff out of the way first? So yeah, just wondering while we're listening to the next track. Yeah, all right. What the fuck is going on with my internet? There we go. Cool, let's hear this shit. Did my internet cut out? Did you guys hear this? Hello? Yeah, I think the stream cut out for a sec. Anyways, my question was, do you guys mix at the very end or as you go? Or do you guys mix technically or creatively? Whatever. I'll just listen to the next track.
But honestly, we make this stuff up right on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a fun fucking electronic fast banger with a lot of fun little samples. Kind of reminds me of fast forwarding through a VHS tape in the 80s. Sounds good, man. But anyways, back to the question I had. It sounds like a lot of you guys mix as you go. And also, it looks like you guys would consider mixing to be a mostly technical process. Am I feeling that out correctly? Personally, for me, I would say that, first off, I mix as I go to a certain point. I mix as I go enough for it to not sound like shit, because if the track just sounds like shit and is completely unmixed, I won't want to go further. So I mix just enough for me to kind of stand working with the sounds that I have and get to the next creative part. But I try to prevent myself from getting too lost in the sauce, too deep into the sound design, too deep into the mixing, because oftentimes I'll have to, what I do at the very end is basically just redo the mix from scratch. So I mix as I go while I'm working on the creative process to make sure everything doesn't sound like shit. And then usually at the very end, I reset all my levels, turn off any unnecessary effects, and basically redo it, reestablish all my relative volumes, reestablish the amount of compression, EQ, spatial effects I'm having, panorama, etc. Now, do any of you guys bounce to audio and then mix it in a separate session? Or do you guys mix within the same session? Because I know a lot of people benefit from bouncing everything to audio and mixing it to a new session for a number of reasons. First off, bouncing everything to audio draws a line in the sand. It prevents you from going back and tweaking too much shit and then never finishing your track. So would highly recommend bouncing to audio if you've never done that before. Makes the mixdown process so much cleaner because you can see the audio waveforms. You're not worried about the MIDI. It's much easier on your CPU. So I would totally fucking do that if you haven't already. It's a pretty cool experience because it definitely allows you to separate your creative hat from the mixing. One disadvantage of that is that you're kind of set in stone, right? Can't tweak the MIDI after it's being baked in. You can't tweak the effects after they're baked into the audio. So yeah, usually I don't bounce to audio. Usually I just keep it within MIDI because I'm competent enough to not get overwhelmed. But I recommend this to a lot of my students to bounce to audio because it just makes the process so much easier, man. Cool. Yeah, and you could always replace the audio if something doesn't work. Smooth has a great point. All right, do we have anything else? What? Really? That was all the shit? There's gotta be more shit that people submitted. What about this? Oh yeah, okay, here we go. This is Jet Lag. He flipped somebody. I don't know, I've never heard the original, so let's just hear it. Super duper dope SoundCloud Wave Monty Booker type hype. Would definitely introduce the lead halfway through that section just to kind of spice it up, but super dope whip. Mixing is quite good as well. Yeah, keep that shit up, Jet. All right, yeah, so, you know, I went through all the tracks up until this point in the roast sections and in the We Suck at Producing sections. Prior to this, these are the ones that I selected, but we have some time left, so I'm just going to pick some random shit, I guess. Let's go to the roast section, and yeah, let's see what we got here. Also, guys, don't do this. Don't send me DMs right before the live stream, because I'm not going to check them. You gotta fucking put it in the roast channel. That's when I check them. All right. So let's take a look here. Is this somebody's track or is this just an example? Let's take a listen here. Okay. Unwoji with Blacked Out. Let's take a listen here. Okay. Here we go. YouTube, can we cooperate here? There we go.
The done.
Stop it right there. I really doubt it's gonna do anything different. You know, it's not bad. It does the exact same thing. It seems like for I mean I can't judge off of the rest of the song since I didn't make it there, but it is quite repetitive. And in terms of the mix, the drums are quite low compared to the vocal. In terms of the vocal, maybe I'm just not a fan of this genre. I really like The Weeknd. Who is this supposed to sound like? Is this supposed to sound like Joji? I guess I've never listened to Joji, so I don't have the reference. But yeah, man, you can't just do the exact same thing for that long. I didn't make it through it, and I doubt anyone in my generation would make it through it without looking at their Snapchat like 5 times. Yeah, let's move on. That kind of pissed me off. Here we have, yeah, that's why I pick my tracks ahead of time so I'm not so savage. Alright, here we go with Omuta Wilts. Let's hear this. Jeez. Alright, that was Wilt with Omuta. Super dope, dark, plodding, burial-esque type vibe. I really fuck with that. Great sound selection, great drums. I love the rhythmic variation. However, the arrangement does feel a bit stuck. I mean, you do have definitely breakdowns with vocals, which I encourage. But when we come back, this section right here, this third drop, doesn't feel distinct enough from the first two to really warrant its existence. So I would either cut here if you don't have any more to say here, or really make what I would do, see how far you can push this here. See how many elements you can add, what new ideas you can bring to the table, maybe another synth lead or another melody or a different set of chords. That would be fucking great. Um, you know, there's many things that you can do to differentiate this section and really push the arrangement to the next level. If you really can't think of anything, then I would just cut it. Then I would say the song doesn't need to be 4 minutes. But in terms of the vibe that you do already have, just the overall quality of the track, the dark, stormy, gritty vibe, I really like. I just wish you pushed it a little further at the end. All right, but thank you so much for sending that. That was very good. Rad Hatter, let's do this. All right, let's hear it. It's another remix. Let's do it.
I'm falling off track for you, and it's tearing my heart in two. 'Cause I'm always searching for better things, for better things. I'm falling off track for you, and there's a million reasons to. I don't need more time to choose, But I'm so full ADD, what I'm supposed to say, baby. Say, baby, if I go in my head, baby, don't blame me, blame my ADD. What I'm supposed to say, baby. Say, baby, if I go in my head, baby, don't blame me, blame my ADD. Falling off track for you, and it's tearing my heart in two. 'Cause I'm always searching for better things, for better things. I'm falling off track for you, and there's a million reasons to. I don't need more time to choose, but I'm so full ADD. What I'm supposed to say, baby. Say, baby, if I go in my head, baby, don't blame me, blame my ADD. What I'm supposed to say, baby. Say, baby, if I go in my head, baby, don't blame me, blame my ADD.
Yo, that was super dope, man. Really quality mix, amazing sound design. Reminds me a lot of Electric Mantis, and I guess Monte Booker, and I guess the whole SoundCloud wave. Um, really well executed. Like I said, reminds me a lot of Electric Mantis. Maybe a bit too much. I've heard all of these elements executed before in other tracks, but you do them very, very well. I will say, with regards to me giving feedback and also other producers giving feedback on your track, it's very easy to get into a sort of feedback loop where you're a producer and you're getting feedback from other producers, and because we're all producers, we're inevitably going to focus on the production, like all the technical stuff, the sound design, making it as crazy and elaborate and intricate as possible. And the danger is that you might overlook what just a Joe Smo would think of the track if you were to see that shit. You know, so I would definitely play out your tracks to people who aren't producers, who don't give a shit about what serum patch you use or whatever the fuck, because that's your target audience. You shouldn't be making music for other producers. That would just be somewhat, I guess, masturbatory. But yeah, always take my advice and anybody else's advice with a grain of salt, because you are, first off, the final creative authority, and second off, you're making music for people, not producers. All right, cool. Let's see how much time we have left. Let's do one more. Mr. Super Sleuth. This is Sfains with Lulu. Let's take a listen. Beautiful. That was fucking sick, bro. Super awesome vibe. We'll say that sometimes it feels like the kick, when the kick and the 808 are hitting at the same time, sometimes it feels like the kick is getting lost. Other times, maybe you just didn't program it on that one hit. Like, for example, like right there, it felt like there was no kick, or the kick was missing, or maybe it was just being buried underneath the 808. So I would either sidechain it or make the attack on the 808 a little bit slower, so that it makes room for the kick. Also, in terms of your arrangement, super great high point, awesome vocal chops. Abrupt. Perhaps there's a more elegant solution to having the vocals stop, maybe introducing a breakdown after that, or maybe just having them continue for the duration of the section right here. But other than that, I mean, super great sound design, amazing vibe. Yeah, excellent work, man. Thank you so much for sending that in. All right, looks like, should we do one more? Yeah, fuck it, let's do one more. Here is coffee for me. I like coffee. I'm gonna drink some coffee right now. Okay, here we go. Austin Yo with coffee.
Riding on hand, right in my hand is your right hand. Walking so far, pretty good, never fade. Only think of today in terms of the present I'm living. But sometimes I think of the future too far in advance, when I'm holding on my pants, feeling good. You make me wanna be on top of these things all the time. I wanna have it with you. And if we could hold you inside my hands, why not have this dance? And in the middle of my fight, I'm doing fine. Just only want to shine. And do you really want to be with me in my hotel room? And we'll see if this jacuzzi is functioning well. I believe it is better be. At least I paid a fortune. Don't want to leave, I want to sleep all the damn day. Oh, wake me up with idle eyes. I want to see the sun. It moves with me, I fly. I know you know I love you. You're my coffee. Whenever you're not there, thoughts, it drives me crazy when I am not prepared. Oh, for I like to do before I like to say. Oh, how much I can do, the less I want to say. The more I want to do, beware of what I say. 'Cause I might drink up you, and I just wish I knew how much that you do, how much that you know, all that I can lose. Love the way you give me drive, it makes me feel alright.
Yo, that was super fun, man. Really interesting track. I don't think I've ever heard anything quite like that. Super fun, super, it's just, yeah, great vibe. One thing that I wasn't quite sure about was that ride sounds like you're playing the same sample over and over again. And it might also not be quite working with kind of the swung vibe, the swung feeling of the drums. So I would just, if you can, record yourself actually playing a hi-hat or a ride or something like that. It would kind of fit with the rest of the organic feel of the track. And yeah, introduce some swing, some kind of strange timing in there. Fuck it. Other than that, bro, I mean, that's super fun, man. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, keep up the good work. Awesome. So I think we're pretty much done here. Once again, thank you so much for coming through, you guys. It really means the world to me. And sorry if I didn't get to your track. There's always next week. Always participate in the Discord, roast each other, give each other feedback, help each other get better. Participate in the monthly challenges contest in the Discord. Make some shit beats. I'm going to participate. We're all going to judge each other. It's going to be great. And then join the subreddit if you can. And if you want, sign up for a private lesson so we can roast each other privately. But once again, thank you so much. I'm going to get the streaming situation figured out. Hopefully this week. It's going to be super high qual. And I'm going to be streaming a lot more once we get that squared away. But yeah, thank you so much. God bless you. There's no God, but God bless you anyways. Have a good one, guys.